Hello friends, welcome back! Today I want to talk about a very requested topic here on my channel. What would I do if I started posting my art online today in 2026? What has changed since I started back in 2017? Is there something I would keep on doing today? And what's the best path you can take? First of all, you need to ask yourself what is your goal with art. Because social media might not be necessarily the best thing you can focus your attention on. In every case, having a social media presence as an artist can only benefit your career, even if it isn't your main focus. But since you clicked on this video, I'm going to assume you want to know more about it, so here we are. Today I'm gonna cover some key questions I get very often, like how to choose the best platform for you, how to make your platforms grow, how to create good content while keeping the focus on your art, different ways to make a living out of your passion, and of course mistakes that, in my opinion, you should avoid. Now I'm going to pass the word to voiceover Hallie, but first let me show you where I'm at with my designs, because at this point it's becoming a series.
Today's video was kindly supported by Printful. In my previous videos, I showed you the tote bag, the mug I designed, and another tote bag actually as I was working on it. Today, I am designing a cute transparent phone cover, and I have to admit I am super excited for this one. I think I'll order the sample right away once the design is ready. I love to customize my phone, and it would be my first time having my art on it. Printful is a print-on-demand service where you can find hundreds of high-quality products fully customizable with your own art. They have a huge catalog, so you can really create a curated collection of items for your shop, going from apparel, accessories to even home design products like pillows. They even have a section for eco-friendly products. The design interface is very easy to use, you can't really go wrong with it. It even tells you the DPIs of your file to make sure the print quality will be at its best, and once you're done designing and tweaking, you can save it, easily connect it to your shop, and they'll take care of printing and shipping. Of course, on your shop settings you can customize the name, the description, and they even provide mock-up pictures. But my suggestion is to order a sample as I did, so you can see how the print turns out, and so you can also take nice pictures yourself to match your aesthetic. In the next videos you'll see more products I am about to order. Can't wait, my shop is slowly coming to life. Big thanks to the friends at Printful for supporting my channel yet again, and if you want to try them out, the link is in the description below. Now back to the video. Since you clicked on this video, I am going to assume that you started drawing recently, maybe a few months ago, and now you feel ready to share your art online. Or you are an experienced artist maybe, with no clue on how to manage social media efficiently and make it work for you. And you're probably wondering how, why, and what the best approach can be. My mantra, since always, is to keep everything neat and tidy. If you want to create a nice presence online, my first and most important suggestion to open this video is create a dedicated account for your art. That is the first step. Try to keep your name short and easy to remember. And with that out of the way, let's talk about how to choose the best platform for you. I started my Instagram account back in 2017 and I had years to experiment with it. At the time, it was the platform I chose for my art because I thought, well, it is a social for posting pictures, so what better place? You have stories there where you can go a little more in depth on your personality, sharing what you're up to in a more laid-back way without being forced to create an entire post, and also short videos. There's also TikTok, of course, but I think IG is more complete for our particular niche. Another place you can post your art is X or Threads, but I have to be honest with you, I do not enjoy those kind of platforms. Too much talking for me personally. I don't think they are the best platforms to grow a community efficiently, although I know many artists use it and actually get many commissions from it. If you like to keep the conversation going, having back-to-back replies, etc., those would be the perfect platforms for you, so keep that into consideration. And then we have YouTube, of course, which despite being video oriented, it is my favorite platform to share what I do. YouTube is the most complete social media there is, no doubt on that. Long videos, short videos, live streams, the possibility to create a community, and even normal posts. Plus, it is the biggest search engine. This was just a quick rundown of the social media platforms you should take into consideration to start, in my opinion. But today, what would I do? I would start right here on YouTube, and then have a complimentary Instagram account, of course, and a TikTok too if you wish. I know what you're about to say. Maybe you have no clue about filming videos, or you are too shy. Trust me when I say that I had the same thoughts and I was scared to talk in public. I am the shyest person ever, but we need to look at the reality of things. This is the place to be, in my opinion. Not only because it also rewards you, you can earn money by showcasing your art and offering long-form entertainment for people. Before I started my channel, I used to watch other artists and even other creators I liked, and I remember thinking, I hope they are making a living out of their passion because they deserve it. So why shouldn't you make a living out of it too? YouTube also allows you to showcase your art process in a slower pace because at the end of the day, the beauty of art isn't just the final result. It is the process that brought you to that result. The fascination lays in there, and in my opinion, this is why YouTube is the best platform right now. I had some clients telling me that they watched my videos while I worked on their commissions and they loved to see the process. So it is all about that at the end of the day. But this is of course just my experience and my point of view. You make your choice accordingly to your preference. Social media growth isn't just for the sake of saying that you have a lot of followers. That is not the point. As a freelance artist, you obviously want more people to see your art, and when more people see your art, more people will reach out for potential commissions or job opportunities. And if you do it right, you can also build a community of lovely people that enjoy your content, appreciate you as a person, and love your art and creativity. But why would I start on YouTube? Today things are different than in 2017 when I started, and I had zero idea of what I was doing. As we slowly evolved into short-form content and scrolling, all social media platforms kinda adapted around that. It was hard to be seen if you didn't produce that type of content. Many artists hate that, and at that time I didn't like it either, but then I thought I could turn that into an advantage for myself. So I started experimenting with short-form videos. The key to it was setting up the camera while I was making my art, nothing more and nothing less. I experimented with different formats, different trends like the quote-unquote art reveal videos. Ultimately, however, I didn't want to be tied to trends, and overall I wanted to create a format that worked for me, that allowed me to grow my community in the most natural way, doing what I loved. In my case, it ended up being line art videos at the time. And what about the photos, you might ask, since, well, you want to post your pieces, right? Those still need to be there and become an extension of the video. So kind of like, you saw me work on it, now here's the final result. And this is still valid today. It is something I always do, and I think you should do it too. So after many trials and errors, because you will have trials and errors, this ended up being the key for me. So a key to steady growth is a balance between process videos and then the final picture. People also enjoy process pictures like whips and sketches along with the final artwork. It is something I do very often, and I suggest you to share those in your stories or maybe in the IG carousel post. And there is a reason for that. The short form video will help you reach new people. The post will probably target more of your followers. So this means that once people find you through your short video, if they like what you do, they will most likely follow you and then see your final art piece. I know it is hard at the beginning, but trust me when I say that short form videos are unfortunately necessary for growth. But let's elaborate more on that. One thing we risk to fall into as artists on social media is losing the focus. A couple of years ago, I was so into the content creation part that I forgot about my own art. I only worked on commissions and I kinda burned myself out. Not good. It took me months to find a good workflow where filming the video and editing was only marginal. I spent too much time checking if the camera was in focus, if the area was lit properly, if the lights were flickering, that honestly filming was a pain, and I am sure that the majority of the artists who hate filming are experiencing exactly this. In my channel there's a full video where I explain how I film my art step by step. I'll link it below or above for you to watch later, so I won't go too in depth today and repeat myself, but in a few words, the simple key is to set up your space to make your filming effortless. I do have my little table arm always ready to the side, so when I'm drawing I just have to quickly position that and it is done. I don't have to overthink it too much like I did before. As I said in the other video, you have to set up your space beforehand, work on it a little bit once so that you have it ready for whenever you need to film in the future. This allows you to potentially have a bunch of videos that you can slowly edit and post, maybe 2 to 3 times per week depending on your schedule. In my experience, at the beginning it is good to have a weekly schedule and to keep up with it to build momentum. My solution is always pre-filming your content. When I have a good inspiration day or a day where I have a lot of commissions I'm working on, I'll take that chance and film. Then, as I said before, I will have a lot of footage to work on and content for the following 2 to 3 weeks. This, in my experience, is the best way to keep it sustainable, otherwise you might end up burnt out, and we do not want that. I personally want to have my focus on my art first and foremost. There are some things, let's call those quote-unquote mistakes, that you should really avoid if you plan on running social media accounts for your art business. First one is treating your art/freelancer platforms as you would treat a personal account. This means posting intimate, personal stuff, including in your stories. That should be obvious. Being unprofessional, meaning talking to people and clients as if they were your friends. Of course you can be friendly, but don't go too in-depth. And the worst one, arguing around in the comment section via DM, being too polemic in general. This isn't only valid for art accounts, I'm talking about professional accounts in general. Engaging in a fight over the comments isn't cute and it only generates more hate. But what if you receive a bad comment, you might ask? Depending on the content of the comment, you can reply politely with your opinion or explanation and leave it at that. And if it is insulting and offending, hide that user and delete the comment. Trust me, this is not where you want to focus your attention and give yourself a tummy ache for a random stranger on the internet. Another thing you want to avoid is spamming, so DMing other artists to get a share on their stories or like a video. It's very sad to say, but this is something that unfortunately doesn't work, and even if it does, it cannot generate the organic growth you are looking for. Let's fast forward now a little bit. Assuming you already have a social media presence, how do you turn your hard work in your favor? There are different ways you can make an income online as an artist, not only strictly related to the act of drawing. Of course, we have commissions and potentially illustrating jobs like book covers, working in video games production, etc. I've covered all of that in my commission guide video. But since we are covering social media today, I want to talk about secondary income streams, such as an online shop. For example, I sell my brush sets for Procreate, the passive income from YouTube, or getting sponsorships. While the first two are pretty self-explanatory, the sponsorships part is a little bit tricky and I get asked a lot about it, so let's dive into it. As your art account grows, you might start getting a lot of emails offering you to sponsor something. First of all, be careful and always check who sent the email and do a little research without clicking on sketchy links. Actually, never click on links you get by emails. Some can be scams or phishing. But assuming you got genuine proposals, how do you choose and how do you proceed from there? First and most importantly, I only accept sponsorships that resonate with me and my content. Services I actually use, and it's even better if they are art related. Kinda like Printful, as you saw before. Your audience is important, your community trusts you, so you need to think ahead because your face and credibility are the most important things. You would be surprised to see how many proposals I reject, but I definitely prefer to build a relationship with fewer brands that I trust. Some might come to you asking for gifted collaborations, meaning I send you this, you make a video however you please. In the past, I said yes to some of those because I genuinely wanted to try the product, I was very excited and it resonated with me. But on the long run, it isn't sustainable. It is a lot of work to create content, so it needs to be fairly compensated. Today, I would only accept a gifted collaboration if they gave me total freedom on when and how to create the content. Your time is valuable, remember that. Ultimately, you need to be picky with sponsorships and brand deals. It is the most important thing. I know it can be hard to reject money, but trust me when I say that more proposals will eventually come and you will eventually collab and work with brands that are in line with you. I like to think of my social media journey of an extension of my job as a freelance artist. It isn't separated, as social helped me a lot to build my career, finding jobs and sustain myself. And although it isn't mandatory, you could work as an artist and never post your art online if you wish. To me, it's fun and a way to share my work and creativity. One thing I would change is probably my approach towards commissions. My prices were way too low at the beginning because I was scared of raising them. This gave me a lot of work, but also a lot of frustration because I wasn't valuing myself. I was pretty much overworked and underpaid. Today I would definitely treat myself more fairly when it comes to that. Another important thing is I should have started posting videos on this channel years ago, and because I was shy, I didn't. I really wish I could go back. I only started 1 year ago, and not only I am fighting my shyness, but I am also having a lot of fun and job opportunities thanks to this channel. That is why I always suggest you to open a YouTube channel. It is fun, you get to share your art process which people love to see. You can make a living out of your passion. Really, you can only benefit from it. So far, a great experience for me.
I really hope that my suggestions and hearing about my experience helped you if you wish to start posting your art online and start this new journey. And hopefully this can become a guide for you to look upon, especially if you're new in this, to help you do it in the best way possible. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next Sunday. Take care. Bye. Pain.